My name is Stancel Roberts, and this is my argumentative piece for Mgmt 6019 on the topic Lack of communication can cause an increase in organizational conflict. The workplace is where most individuals spend at least 40 hours weekly. It therefore means that effective communication plays an important role in getting the job done. In this essay, I will argue that lack of communication can cause an increase in organizational conflict. If information is not communicated between employees and their employers, it can lead to poor work performance, lack of teamwork, and a reduction in profit for the business, thus causing an increase of conflict among the organization's key players. According to George and Jones 2008, communication is the sharing of information between two or more individuals or groups to reach a common understanding. Within every organization, there can be either interpersonal or organizational communication. DAF 1997 states, interpersonal communication focuses on face-to-face interaction, while organizational communication is information that typically flows downward, upward, or horizontally, and managers are responsible for establishing and maintaining these formal channels of communication. A breakdown of communication often causes conflict when in fact the only issue that may exist is a mere misunderstanding of the other person's expectations. Although this may sound simple, this miscommunication sometimes leads to poor performance by some employees. Every establishment expects their workers to work hard and ensure that the daily tasks are done. No manager ever wants to be told that his employees are performing poorly, since this would have a negative impact on the organization. However, once you are in an environment with people, be it at home, church, or work, you will encounter conflict. What is conflict might be the question you are pondering in your mind. According to Roloff 1987, organizational conflict occurs when members engage in activities that are incompatible with those of colleagues within their network, members of other collectivities, or unaffiliated individuals who utilize the services or products of the organization. Common communication issues that causes conflict occurs when workers are uncertain of who is in charge or when company objectives are not clearly stated. These poor workplace communications create a negative environment, and when workers do not understand what is expected of them or they feel unappreciated, they tend to retaliate by performing poorly. Lack of teamwork is another cause of conflict within organizations. In 2010, during an interview with Susan Goldenberg, the White House Oil Spill Commission stated, "Bad management and a communication breakdown by BP and its Macondo well partners caused the oil disaster in the Gulf of Mexico." The Commission went on to fault the three companies for poor communications. It is said they failed to share important information, which meant they did not fully appreciate the risk they were taking in the final days of the Deepwater Horizon. It is clear that when communication channels within teams are not properly established and information does not flow easily between teammates, that it increases the chances of chaotic activities to arise, as in the case of the BP oil spill. Team members therefore need to communicate and interact more efficiently with each other in order to perform their duties and produce at a high standard. However, this can only be achieved when they are better able to communicate in order to understand the strengths and weaknesses of each teammate. A reduction in profit for any business is the last topic any management team would want to be discussing in a meeting. This, though, is usually the case when poor communication is present in an organization and has been allowed to continue to the point where it is affecting the profit of that organization. In the Harvard Business Review, The Silent Killer of Big Businesses article by Boris Grossberg and Michael Slind, dated October 25, 2012, it explained the demise of Nokia. The article stated, "For more than a decade, Nokia was the world's largest mobile phone manufacturer. But when the smartphone became the next big thing within the mobility market, the company lost its competitive advantage." According to an in-depth account of why Nokia has struggled to turn its good ideas into products, much of the problem stems from habits of communication that favored unfocused discussions about strategy over clear plans to bring new phone models to market. External and internal messages must be communicated effectively to reach your target audiences in order to make profit. Managers should therefore see effective communication as their primary resource of making money. In summary, poor communication within an organization can cause misunderstandings that lead to poor performance, lack of teamwork, and a reduction in profit for the business. And these were evident in the businesses discussed in this paper. This increase in conflict, however, allows organizations to see the need to develop a strong system of communication that will eliminate misinformation and cuts down on the possibility of conflict. The team can then focus on company tasks as opposed to wasting time shifting through conflict.